This video is sponsored by True Gold Republic, the precious metals experts. Talk to one of their experts today about diversifying your portfolio to help assure your future financial security. Find their contact information in the description below and pinned in our first comment. James Kaufman, World News Report today, July 1st, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try to go over everything about the Supreme Court's ruling today, including Trump's responses and the Biden team's response and other things that are associated with this ruling. The Supreme Court rules 6-3 in favor of presidential immunity. Quote, court holds that former president has absolute immunity for his core constitutional powers. The Supreme Court on Monday ruled 6-3 that Trump has absolute immunity for his core constitutional powers. What is sad is the three Democrats ruled against the immunity. Unbelievable. Former presidents are entitled to at least a presumption of immunity for their official acts. The Supreme Court ruled there is no immunity for unofficial acts. So some of the cases against President Trump will be affected, but others may not be. For instance, the quote-unquote hush money trial may not be affected because President Trump was running for office at the time and was not president of the United States. It's questionable as far as the documents cases. Did President Trump actually unclassify the documents he had in hand via just a desk drawer letter? Because that would make his possession of all those documents legal. And that's all it would take. There's no official procedure to unclassify documents. It can be done any way a president wishes. With this ruling, Jack Smith's D.C. case against Trump will be delayed as it bounces back to the lower court to Judge Tanya Chutkan. Nightmare. The court holds that a former president has absolute immunity for his core constitutional powers. Now, President Trump is separately arguing that Jack Smith's appointment was unlawful in the classified document case playing out in a Florida court. I will show you all of Trump's responses on Truth Social now. The first response at 9:41 a.m. Big win for our Constitution and democracy. Proud to be an American. Second response at 11:02 a.m. Today's historic decision by the Supreme Court should end all of crooked Joe Biden's witch hunts against me, including the New York hoaxes. Manhattan scam cooked up by Soros-backed DA Alvin Bragg, racist New York Attorney General Tish James' shameless attack on the amazing business that I've built, and the fake Bergdorf's case. Proud to be an American. Now, I will say that ruling shouldn't affect any of those cases based on the ruling itself, because in many of these cases, he was not yet president and was not acting with presidential immunity. These were personal situations. His next response at 2:50 p.m. The Supreme Court decision is much more powerful than some had expected it to be. It is brilliantly written and wise, and clears the stench from the Biden trials and hoaxes, all of them, that have been used as unfair attack on crooked Joe Biden's political opponent, me. Many of these fake cases will now disappear or wither into obscurity. God bless America. Again, I disagree based on what the cases covered. In the decision, Clarence Thomas also questioned Jack Smith's authority because he was a private citizen when he was tapped as special prosecutor. Let's listen to what Clarence Thomas has to say about Jack Smith's prosecutions. Now, I do think these top secret document cases will go away because of this, although I don't think the hush money trial and perhaps the Clarence Thomas, quote, I write separately to highlight another way in which this prosecution may violate our constitutional structure. In this case, the Attorney General purported to appoint a private citizen as special counsel to prosecute a former president on behalf of the United States. But I am not sure that any office for the special counsel has been established by law, as the Constitution requires Article 2, Section 2, Number 2. This imposes that Congress create all federal offices by law. The Constitution imposes an important check and balance against the president and the executive branch. He cannot create offices at his pleasure. If there is no law establishing the office that the special counsel occupies, then he cannot proceed with his prosecution. So this special counsel was not created by Congress and therefore has no ability to prosecute anyone, period. A private citizen, Thomas goes on, cannot criminally prosecute anyone, let alone a former president, Clarence Thomas wrote. The Biden-Harris camp didn't take the Supreme Court's decision well. They issued an unhinged statement and attacked Trump with lies. Quote, today's ruling doesn't change the facts, so let's be very clear about what happened on January 6th. Donald Trump snapped after he lost the 2020 election and encouraged a mob to overthrow the results of a free and fair election. Trump was already running for president as a convicted felon for the same reason. He sat idly by while the mob violently attacked the Capitol. He thinks he's above the law and is willing to do anything to gain and hold on to power for himself. What projection, folks! The desperate Biden campaign said on Monday, this is the biggest projection I think I've ever seen. Jack Smith's team ridiculously argued that if Trump is protected by presidential immunity, what could stop him from telling and inciting his supporters during a State of the Union address to kill opposing lawmakers? We also had the lower court, Judge Florence Pan, a Biden appointee, asked John Sauer, quote, could a president who ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival and is not impeached, would he be subject to criminal prosecution? The plain answer is yes. He would first have to be impeached, then face prosecution, which is what should have happened to President Biden over this lawfare he is staging against future President Donald Trump. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much explains it all. We had several people on Twitter calling for SEAL Team 6 and or the military to go after physically these people. And I will show y'all that this little screwball sent out a tweet calling for just that. Let's take a look at that. Harry Sison. According to the Supreme Court, Biden could now send SEAL Team 6 to take out all of them. He could send in the military to take out Trump. He has immunity for official acts now. Boy, this kid doesn't understand anything that was written in the decision, does he? Chris LaCivita, a GOP strategist, suggested to expect a visit, and he means from the FBI. Ridiculous. Actually, Democrats are freaking out over this, ladies and gentlemen. There's a whole story about the left freaking out. It's so wild that the vote went on party lines. The 6 Republicans actually followed the Constitution, whereas the 3 Democrats voted against presidential immunity. That should tell everything to you that you need to know. God bless you and yours. I believe that everything would be pushed off long enough, besides the hush money trial, for Trump to become president and give himself immunity, period. God bless you and yours. Please share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible in Bizarro World.